The following podcast is only for mature audiences. Hello, and welcome back to Lore Folk, a podcast where we riff on all things paranormal. I'm your host, Aidan Kidd.
And I'm your other host, Maddie Barr.
Maddie, things have changed since we last spoke.
Oh, have they?
For I am standing. This is a standing podcast now. I don't sit down. What do I look like, some fucking loser who sits down and bends his legs? You think I'm a leg bender? I'll tell you not.
No, I would never assume you bent your legs. Who would sit during a podcast? That's just silly.
It's a new health craze that I'm on, and I'll never stop forever. And I demand that everybody in my life also do the same thing. Maddie, are you standing right now?
You know, standing is so nebulous of a term. Who's to say? I'm being supported by my legs currently, yes.
I'll take it. I'll trust you, Maddie, because you're my friend and co-host of a podcast.
Yep.
That you're all at home listening to right now. Or on the train or in a bus or next to a duck.
All at the same time?
All at the same time. This is some real fucking green eggs and ham shit.
Planes, trains, automobiles, and ducks.
And duck. All right. So today we're gonna talk about a little special boy.
Is it you?
Yeah.
And that boy grew up to be Aidan.
You think I'm special? I don't know. My mom said I was pretty special. So I really appreciate it. My grandma gave me this little shirt that says Grandma's Special Little Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I wear it close to my heart. My grandma was big into not ever sitting. She only stood, and that's where I got this from. So I'm honoring my grandma this fine day.
You were going to tell us about a special little boy.
I was going to talk about Kelpies.
I love Kelpies.
You're talking about Kelpies. I feel like we should have talked about this a long time ago. I keep meaning to bring it up, and then we never talk about it.
They're neat.
So for the uninitiated, a Kelpie is a shape-shifting spirit inhabiting lakes in Scottish folklore. It's usually a horse, but sometimes it's a person and other things. It can shape-shift. It's able to adopt human form. Some say it retains its hooves when appearing as a human, so if you ever see a lady beckoning you by the lake, by the loch, and she's got little devil hooves, just know that you're going into the inky abyss. It's just natural. Just let it happen. So, but basically, the gist, what they do, is they lure people into the water, and then they get all gross and sticky, and they drag you under the water. And they drown you real good. And that's what a Kelpie is. Alright, so Maddie, you're in Scotland. You're walking through the glen. And you see a big old fucking horse. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And I think, gosh, that horse could never hurt me near water because it's a horse. And
Exactly.
They don't go there.
Do you think you'd go for it?
I mean, yes. The horse girl within me, yes. It's not even a question. Did you know, I heard a fun fact about horses that sometimes they're afraid of puddles. And bodies of water because they have no way to gauge how deep the water is, so they won't step in them because they're worried they'll just fall all the way in, even if it's like a few inches deep. These horses got that figured out.
Yeah, oh no, they got it.
No fear there. Yes, I would ride this fucking water horse into the ocean like Elsa in Frozen 2, but instead of discovering something about my past, I would just be drowned.
I'd still sing a song on the way down, though. You couldn't understand a word of it because the water filling my lungs, but I'm gonna do it.
I drowned faster because of my poor breath control while I was singing. What can I say?
But it made my vocal coach proud, now didn't it?
I was inhaling with my whole diaphragm, not with your shoulders. Aidan,
Gotta imagine the flower in the back of your throat. Okay.
Would you go for this horse?
Fucking, I would. And you want to know why?
Yes.
Because I want to wrestle this fucking horse. I want to drag that fucker on land. This is going to be a real test of wills. Is whether or not I can pull this majestic beast into the grass. Because what happens then? How do you have that conversation of, like, being a horse and you just tried to drown somebody and now you're stuck there with them? Like, you're basically handcuffed. Like, you know how in, like, buddy comedies, like, two unlikely buddies get handcuffed and they're on the run from the lamb. I imagine it'll be a similar situation to that, where now we're just awkwardly like, what do we do now? So I'd probably concoct some sort of preemptive plan to assist in this act. I would, like, set up, like, some sort of Kevin McAllister-esque trap or something to help hoist the horse onto dry land so we can just fucking have that stare-down moment and just, like, lock eyes and shame this fucking creature.
And then it's just a horse.
And then it's just a horse, but it's a fucked up horse that knows that it fucked up.
It's a shameful horse.
It's a shameful horse. I'm here to instill shame upon your horses.
Yeah, if you can kerprank this horse into coming on land, can it just go back in the water?
I don't know. What's this thing gonna do?
Will it turn into a real horse and then it'll be afraid of bodies of water because it doesn't know their depth and it won't go back in the ocean, even though it really wants to?
Well, here's what we'll do. Here's how we'll handle this Kelpie, is we'll get a paintbrush and we'll paint the side of a mountain to look like a lake. And it's gonna run into that and splat like a fucking Wile E. Coyote bit. And it'll turn into a disc and it'll roll around. And then we'll pick up that disc Kelpie and we'll roll it up. And then we'll put a stick of dynamite to it, launch it from a cannon into outer space. That's how you deal with things. I'm sorry, Space Jam 2 has completely ruined me as a human being.
It's Space's problem now. If the horse is gonna be fooled by paint, could we not just paint like a fun late night club that says, you know, hot Kelpies in your area? Like, why does it have to be the ocean? There's many ways to lure this thing.
Do you think Kelpies accidentally fucking try to drown other Kelpies? Like, because they can turn into people. Like, do you think that's, like, a common problem? Where it's like, fucking Bryce again? Now our inky skin is attached to us once more. Fucking, wait a minute. It's like a rat king. It's like a rat king with fucking water horses.
Ew,
that's horrifying.
That's disgusting.
And the ultimate life form.
That's going to be tough, too, because the more and more horses you add on there, it's harder for it to lure people. Because what does it look like when it's a person?
It's just like a bunch of dudes
people?
like on a rock. Like, hi, I'm Bryce.
They're not
I'm
attached
also
as people,
Bryce. Like they
horses.
just have like they are attached, but it's just like their human arms or whatever are clearly touching. And they're like, we'll never break away.
We're a barbershop quartet. Nothing suspicious here. We like to sing on this rock because of the acoustics of the ocean. Yeah,
there's a point where like an entire town that's a Kelpie. Oh no. We need to stop giving away these great ideas to fucking game developers or something.
What I was going to say is if I was a Kelpie, I think it'd be a really cool prank on my friends is to go on to look like a human, right? A new human that the other ones haven't seen before. And you'd let your friend lure you into the ocean and they'd get like right down into it right when they were about to drown you. And then you'd be like, haha, it's me. I just wasted 10 minutes of your time. Woo. I think that
so. You would get them to near death? When do you call that?
No, you let them think they're getting you to near death, and then you're like, "It's me. I'm not a person." You see? Because the Kelpie's trying to lure real people into the ocean, right? So I'd make myself look like a person and be like, "Haha, dum-da-dum. I'm just a regular human ready to drown." And then at the last second, you jump out and you're like, "Ha! Get pranked. Get joshed on."
Get joshed on?
You absolutely
As
fool.
me in my Josh form. I gotcha.
It's me. Yes, I'm joshing with you because I'm looking like a man named Josh right now.
All right. Now I have a question. And this is a Quora, still on the topic of Kelpies. And that's what reminded me that we should talk about Kelpies. Is what would happen if a Kelpie tried to lure in a werewolf? What is it about a Kelpie and its luring capabilities that specifically attracts humans? Would they have to do anything different to attract a werewolf? Well, I think that it's the same, but you do have to be like, you want to go outside? You want to go outside?
You want to go to the
You want to go outside?
You want to go get drowned?
And it'll work. It'll instantly work. Oh, who's a good boy? Who's my little man? You want to get drowned?
The werewolf is like, goes like 5 feet into the ocean, then comes back on the land, and then goes 5 feet back into the ocean again, and you're like, in or out?
It's like
you have
part
to pick.
dude, part wolf, so like half of him is like, yeah, no, I want to go. And it's like, dude, You're going to get us killed. Just like Gollum and Smeagolling out and about, like back and forth.
Yeah, but then I was going to say what would happen, but you know what? People can't survive underwater, and neither can wolves, so.
No. That we know of. Have you ever heard of a wolf drowning? I haven't.
If a wolf drowns in the ocean and
nobody's around to see it, does it really drown?
Yeah.
Beautiful, Maddie. Very well thought out. Let's go to the ads.
Woo.
All right, here we are in the ad break. It's a part of the show where we make up ads so you don't have to. Listen to real ads, I guess. I don't know where I was going with that. But Maddie, tell people how they can support the show in lieu of us not having actual ads.
In lieu of us not having actual ads, you can support the show on Patreon. You can join us there. We've got 3 different tier levels. You get all sorts of fun stuff, like every single episode or video, whenever it's ready. You get it early. You get Aidan's animation process. You get all the music and some other fun stuff. I'm working on some fun video game related things. There, I said it on the podcast, and now
you're committed.
Now I have to do it. Patreon exclusive. So join us on Patreon. It's a great way to make sure that we can keep doing the show.
Also, I have a webcomic. I think of the week that this episode goes out, I'll be putting it out. Maybe not. Don't hold me to that. But it's called Wizard Council. Ooh. It'll be out on my Twitter. It'll be on Webtoons. It'll probably be linked in the description of this video if you're watching this on YouTube and it's out, like I said. It'll be uploading new things on Fridays and maybe sometimes Mondays. Who knows? Maybe twice a week uploads. I don't know, but definitely Fridays. It's about wizards and they're all sad.
Oh.
Sad little wizards, and they're my beautiful children, and I love them all dearly. Maddie, give us an ad!
Hello there, my name is Deborah. I'd like to take a moment of your time to tell you all nice young folks about a business venture I've been working on. I've recently started selling cursed jewelry and heirlooms. We've got necklaces that will choke you in the night, rings that poison your loved ones. Heck, last week I sold a pair of earrings to this nice young man to give to his wife, and the next day his body was found in the woods and he looked all sorts of messed up. You can catch me at the farmer's market on Wednesdays and Sundays. Come get cursed while the cursing's good. Deborah's Cursed Jewelry and Heirlooms, right next to the hand-dipped candle station.
Are you tired of your dead wife's ghost possessing your house? Well, then you gotta come to me, the Robbie make the ghost go away man. I will get you divorced from your ghost wife so damn quickly and you can get back to your peace of mind. Sure, she was like a pageant carny who got a bunch of cement dropped on her tragically in like the 1930s or whatever. But you're sick of her. All she does is, drag people off the street and consume them. And then that's a whole hassle because you got to keep scaring away the kids and being like, get away from my house. It's dangerous here. It's a very common problem that a lot of people have. So you come to me and I'll get you out of those nuptials. No questions asked. Me, Robbie, the Make That Ghost Guy Away Go Boy. Call today.
Aidan, I have a new segment here for us.
A new segment?
One of my favorites. A segment that may only last for this episode because I'm not sure there's enough content. I'd like to talk about paranormal architecture today.
Ooh.
There's some fun, nifty things that I've been seeing on the internet, and they're vaguely paranormal related in terms of houses. And the first thing I'd like to mention is witch windows. Have you heard of them?
Which ones? Please continue.
Now I know how you feel when I make a really funny joke.
Yeah, exactly. I
Like,
don't like it when it's the other way
Maddie?
around, do you?
The
No.
turntables. Witch windows, also known as Vermont windows, are found almost exclusively in or near the U.S. state of Vermont, generally in the central and northern parts of the state. They're principally installed in farmhouses from the 19th century, although they can be found less frequently in new construction. So basically, if you go by a house in Vermont, there's a section of the roof, I think a gable it's called, where it's tilted, and there's a window there on the side of the house at a jaunty angle to line up with the roof instead of a regular window. And they're called witch windows, which apparently comes from the belief that witches cannot fly their broomsticks through tilted windows. They're also sometimes known as coffin windows, which is also a name that is unclear in origin, as people aren't sure if it's because the window is shaped like a coffin or if it's because, and this is real, people potentially, instead of trying to carry the coffin of a deceased one down the stairs inside the house, they would shove it out of the window and then I guess off of the roof? I don't know. But anyway, witch windows.
We gotta address the fact I'm looking at these windows right
They're
now.
fun. I thought they were
I
neat.
didn't fully understand what you meant. I thought in line with the roof, it was just that's just a skylight. Everybody has this.
No,
But I
sorry.
see. It's just
Everybody
tilted.
look it up. It's on the side of the house and it's at a jaunty angle. It's a 1/8 turn, as they say in construction, which just means 45 degrees.
Okay. That's ridiculous.
It's a silly little
And-
window and the witches can't get in there. Why can't they get in when it's
Why
diagonal,
can't
Aidan?
they get in? Listen, first off, I think we need to address the fact that this is something that you can only find in Vermont. So,
Yes.
and there's a lot of reasons that might be the case. First of all, is Vermont some sort of containment field? Or did Vermont decide to keep this technology for their greedy selves? Or did the founding fathers, when they made Vermont, did they seal something inside and they know that only Vermontians, varmints,
I don't know what they're called.
need protection from witches? What is this? This is a mess. This is ridiculous. I love it. But the idea of me being a witch and I'm on my broom and I'm like, I'm gonna go in this person's house. And then I see that tilted window and I'm like, no, I couldn't possibly
Shit.
do a sick twisty turn. That would be too scary for a little. Fuck it! I'd go for it.
You're going to smash
Are you kidding
yourself.
me? I'm a witch. I do magic.
You're going to hit yourself on the window every time. You're not going to make the right
I
angle.
will Jim Hawkins that shit. I will glide through elegantly at the beginning of my funny little space movie, and it will be perfect.
I mean, that's what you think. But the witch window says otherwise.
You know what you need? You know what every witch window needs? They need a second witch window that's in the other direction. It's flopped in the other way. So, if you look at them, you couldn't see it really, but, they'd form a sort of X. And that's how you get the witches. There must be a secret to this, because right now I'm not understanding how this is working and preventing witch invasions.
She can't go through because it's diagonal. Can't get in there.
That is
Aw,
very true.
shucks.
Witches are very scared of diagonals.
Maybe she's operating. I've been playing a lot of Skyward Sword. Maybe she's operating on a motion control based sort of movement.
Oh no, are
system,
witches'
and
brooms controlled by the fucking Wiimote?
She can't tilt herself. She could be straight up and down or all the way sideways, but she can't do this delicate angle of 45 degrees. Maybe it's because she's got a big hat. Can't get in
It's the
there.
hat. Maybe it's the hat.
Maybe it's the hat.
They're
People
silly,
from
pointy
Vermont,
hats.
people who live in Vermont are called Vermonters. Just a fun fact I Googled.
I like vermin, because that's what they are to me. Inferior beings, those from Vermont. Long live Rhode Island.
I understand
I've never
that you
been
don't
to
know.
Rhode Island.
I understand that you can't wrap your simple mind around how these windows work. I've never been to Vermont personally, but I've also never heard of witches in Vermont. So it kind of feels like a situation where
I don't think there was an American Chillers about this one.
We have these windows to keep the witches away. Oh, there's no witches here. Yeah, they're working, It's one of those.
So where did they go? Maybe that's why the rest of the world does have witches.
Oh, yeah, they've all
like they
been
kept this
expelled.
technology as a secret to themselves, yada, yada, yada. And that is the truth. I think that's likely the most probable outcome of this. But also, you don't get a lot of witches elsewhere in the world, but we do have other ways of keeping them at bay. We have public education, the sacrificial child that we put at the center of town every month. We have ways to satiate them and protect ourselves.
I have a cute little plaque in my window that says no solicitors, and then underneath it says no witches also.
And no witch solicitors right below that.
Girl Scouts okay.
Which Girl Scouts are okay?
No, regular Girl Scouts only.
Oh.
I want cookies, not curses. Do you think witch Girl Scouts sell curses?
I think they sell like the most. I think they just sell like the best cookies.
Witches? Not witches, but witch is the That one wasn't even on purpose. Which
That's
is
the end of our podcast. Thank you all for joining us today.
What's the best Girl Scout cookie?
And that's the Lore Folk Rag. We're done with the show. Here we are. We did it. I'm going to ignore Maddie, and I'm going to pull the rug out from this operation. It's the end of the episode, and here we are. Give us your money on Patreon. You know how it is. You've been here before. It's every episode's the same. We come here, we come into your ears, and we give you these tasty little nuggets. We do our little dance. We do our little jest and our japes, and then you toss us coins. Give us those coins, please. I have student loans. If you have a cryptid or a question or anything like that, you can send it over to lorefolksubmissions@gmail.com. You could tell us about a funny Reddit post you found, something you found on Quora, the dead remains of Yahoo Answers, whatever it is, send it over there. It'll be a grand old time.
Tell your friends about the show. Share it with people. Share it with your mom, your cousins, your dog.
Not your dad. Don't you dare tell your dad about us.
You could tell your dad if you want. I don't care.
No, don't, please.
Me and your dad are cool. We go way back.
No,
tell your friends about
I
the
also
show.
go way back with him, but we're not cool.
Rate us on iTunes. I say this every time, and now people actually go and do it every time. Thank you to the people who've rated us on iTunes. I read them all every day. That's not even a joke, because I go and check for more, and if there's not any new ones, I read the old ones. So tell your friends. Share the show.
Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel and whatnot. We got lots of videos. We got a whole podcast, a whole series of podcasts that weren't available anywhere else but the YouTube channel. It was called It's Not Easy Being Greenlit. We did it with our friend Nathan, who also has a show called Something Like a Brother that you can also listen to on Spotify and stuff. Go listen to that. That he owes me now like $200 because I mentioned his podcast on ours.
Yep, that's how
it works. That's podcast rules.
You think we'd mention it during the ad break because we got paid to do it, but no. This one's off the cusp.
So, there we go. I stood the entire time, and guess what? My legs
how was
freaking girthy. They're like tree trunks.
Wow.
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? How is that? Wouldn't you know? You were also standing this entire time like you promised me.
Oh, yeah. And it's going great for me. I just wanted to check in for you that we were having the same experience. Legs like trunks. Yep. I'm looking like a whole sequoia
Maddie?
Over here.
Maddie.
Yeah?
Are you lying to me?
No.
Maddie. My friend. You have sitting energy. You sound like somebody who's sitting down.
No. Oh, I'm so close to the ceiling. Way up here.
I can't believe it. I'm doing a podcast with a sitter.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, disgusting. Disrespectful. I can't take this. End the podcast. End the episode. End it now.
Shout out to our patrons for all the support. We love you. If you'd like to support us as well and see your name here, you can hop over to our Patreon and join us for as little as $5 a month. You'll get access to episodes early, bonus content, and all sorts of other goodies.